The Osiris League has crowned its Season 9 champions. Now join us to find out how they rose to the top.
Hey guys, I'm Mamer, one of 16MX's Osiris League team leaders.
I'm Uchi, I'm the other side of the MX OL team lead.
I'm Silentflow from Team 93T from Kingdom 1093. I am the ARC planner.
I'm either one of the Kingdom leaders in 249. I'm more like a coordinator or team secretary.
Hello guys, we're MP39. I've been organizing practice matches and working on the tactic for my teams.
Most country that we have people from, like it's Arabs, 13, 14. But we also have people from Asia, from US, from EU. It's fully international.
We're mostly NA and Europe, and we have maybe like 5 or 6 players from Asia.
A little more than half of our team are Vietnamese, and we have some Koreans, Americans, a few Europeans, and 2 Chinese, including myself.
Our team's made up of players from all over China, US, Turkey, Vietnam, and many other countries.
It's very surreal, actually. When we started this, it was like, okay, let's just see where we will end up, because we always thought we would, first GT in the semis, and after that went down, it was like, okay, do we actually have a shot to win this? And then the last day, the finals, the 2 matches were like heart racing. I don't think I've ever been more stressed about this game than that Sunday, so it feels great.
It feels very nice. I do like how they mixed up the realms, because we expected to be in Horus, but this time they just mixed up the teams. We did find this season a lot more fun than last one. Obviously it was a lot more harder, so we enjoyed it.
Winning the award is truly amazing. It's like the fruit of hard work of the whole team. For myself, it's like a dream comes true, because it's my first champion.
It really surprised me though, to be honest. And at the beginning, our goal was just make it to the quarterfinal. But since many of our players told me that they want to push to the championship, so I was like, why not? Just give it a go then and see how it goes.
After our KVK, that's when the real preparations for us started. We started with 2 practices every week. We played with a lot of teams like 489, Beer, JST, DQ, 606, 16OT, and a lot of other teams we practiced with. Also GT, of course. That was until GT had their loss in top 16. That's where we also bumped our practices to 3 a week and 4 on the last week. I also want to add that practices were actually more tougher than the real games, except the finals, of course. So those practices helped us very, very big time, thanks to all the teams.
For this season, we started practicing a little bit more. In the past, it was always once per week. So we would practice on a Saturday and then play the game on Sunday. This season, we started practicing twice on a Saturday. We practiced multiple teams. We try to keep, a variety, each time practicing a different team to get used to their play styles, because every team has their own play style and things they do different. And for us, with our play style, we want to be more flexible. And for Grand Prix, we'll probably keep the same schedule.
Like many other teams, we review match videos, did internal trainings like mid-practice, 15 versus 15, and had practice matches with other teams. With around 2 to 3 matches per week after entering playoffs, mainly with teams from other rooms like 16MX and GT, JST, 75DC, and etc. Many of them are really good practice partners.
We usually will do our practice match once a week, and mostly will be on Saturday. But during the weekdays, we still watch the videos of how opponents play and improve our own strategies. I do really appreciate to our friend Kingdom 3176, especially Rick, 志哥, Aqiu, and DJ, the leadership from 3176. They taught us how to play and point out the mistake we have made. And the whole team from 3176, they spend their own time to play training match with us.
The new skills were crazy. I really liked them, especially no mark, because I really like focusing on the building game and especially the opening. And if you could pop off a good opening, which we're known for along the way, having a very strong opening and popping no mark, because that initial opening with the initial first occupations and just the score boost, that was crazy. I really liked the new dimension they added to it, and especially with time warp, being able to use either no mark or either to the death or whatever a second time. Yeah, that really put a new punch to the game.
I think in general, the new skills, they added a lot of variety to the game, because right now you can run time warp and then go mid twice with to the death if you wanted, or you could skip mid and use no mark twice if you wanted. So, or even master strategy. For us specifically, it did change things, but not as much. But in general now, like there's way more things that you can play around with and more things that you have to consider. So I would say these new additions are very good for the game mode. I hope to see more skills like that in the future.
These new skills are really good additions and have made the gameplay even more interesting. For example, you can easily widen the gap in occupation points with no mark, and Time Warp lets you buff your killer move twice. The decision on skill bar combo and when to use them had greater impact in-game than before. Internally, we also try out different things and had a lot of discussions on them.
The 60MX vs OWR series was close overall. In Game 1, OWR held the lead throughout by securing first occupation of all the altars, giving them a 7,000 point advantage before the first arc spawned. But 60MX slowly started to come back by capturing 4 arcs, and eventually stole the game with over 5,000 points in provision. In Game 2, the script was flipped. 60MX secured first occupation on 4 altars, while OWR focused on the arcs. However, during the second arc, OWR rotated away from their arc carrier after winning the mid-fight to stabilize their structures, allowing 60MX to steal the arc and take control of the game.
When GT lost, it was very shocking to us. As I said, our aim is always top 4. So now, yeah, GT is not there anymore. So we have to carry their legacy, like the 916 legacy of winning Osiris League, because we have never lost a single Osiris League season, and it was a lot of pressure on us. But we managed to use that chance very well. I'm very thankful for that.
I remember watching the game because it was before our game. We were in voice, and it was a shock. We were all just silent, and it was like, okay, what is happening here? GT's team is amazing, and the planner they got this season is amazing, and it was just a very big shock to us. I basically felt sick after that loss, but but after that it was just quickly getting our stuff back together and just making sure, okay, they lost, we have a chance, we need to make sure we take it. And for the Kingdom, it wasn't really that much of an impact. I mean, the first day, yeah, of course, they were very disappointing, especially in themselves, but after that it was full on support for MX, and every match day it was a lot of messages like, come on guys, you can do this, and it was a good chance to see that it's not just the 30 people in GT team, but just everyone in the Alliance and in the Kingdom. It was very tough because we analyzed all the matches OWR played. We've never seen them use it before. We've only seen DC use it against OWR, and it didn't really work out, so we did not expect them to use it. And when they suddenly did, it was, yeah, I mean, you watch the first match and it was just crazy because they are very coordinated and just very strong in how they execute their planning. So we were on the back ropes that entire match up until the last 4 minutes. So I already said how much we could respond to that strategy, but all we had to do was just change our focus and make sure we made it into a mid game and farming game, and that's the only way how we could actually respond to that Sunsailor strategy. I liked how we used the Sunsailor to our own advantage afterwards.
Yeah, in the second arc, it was good. And the second arc, they used it, and we started shouting, yeah, push, let's just clear them before they use it and go to our buildings, and we used it to follow them instead, which gave us a quicker refresh on our marches too. It was very good.
In a clash of two structure-focused teams, 93T proved their dominance. In Game 1, constant pressure on JST's Sky Altar lane overwhelmed their defense. Even after JST won the second arc, 93T enabled Nomark to hit 1,300 points minute versus JST's 150, plus a 4 altar swing locking in the first win. Game 2 was another structure chess match. JST kept it closer and shifted focus to the arc. But the second arc fight was decisive. 93T won the mid, secured the arc, and despite JST's valiant retake attempt, closed out the match, completing their Realm Championship 3-peat.
The hardest for us is to keep people interested, because we do have, I would say, half of the team currently are the same players from the first season, and even before that. Maybe 10 of us have been playing together for 4 or 5 years. It does get harder with each year and each win to keep people interested. Some people, especially the newer players, they seem way more dedicated, so you always want to get fresh players in, because they will spend the most time analyzing stuff, testing stuff. If you do not do that, then at some point you're gonna stagnate and you end up losing. When you're playing against teams that might do like risky things, you still need to put a lot of time. Like, we do have that benefit where we know each other and like what we do, so it is easier for us, but you still need to put a lot of time. And this season, honestly, I think we planned a lot more. We played against the team DQ39. Their main play was to steal the obelisk. This is what happened to GT. And after that happened to GT, we were like, we need to make sure that this doesn't happen to us. I was trying like to come up with all the ways you can lose your obelisk, and it was like 8 or 9 different strategies that you can take an enemy obelisk from the start, like minute 54 until minute 45. Before even first arc spawns. It was a lot to consider, you know. It was pretty stressful for me. But now that it's over, I can finally enjoy Rock again. We didn't select master strategy because we didn't think JST was the type to try something like that. And we kind of already had an idea that they don't like to go mid as much, so we wouldn't need to rely on a TP skill for a retake. I don't think necessarily that they're less effective now. I would say they're even more effective. Maybe not in the international OL, but in the Chinese OL, I was watching a game with GY16 and they lost Arc twice to a Sneaky Tactics Master Strategy, 2 times in a row. So I would say they were more effective now, but for us, it was just a different game plan. Like, we didn't think we would need it.
Game 1 was a surprise. Beer used Desert Storm just before the Arc fight, weakening 489's marches and securing the first Arc, setting the pace for the rest of the match. Even with 489 grabbing a last-second arc, Beer held on to take Game 1. Game 2 was all about adaptation. 489 added Desert Storm to their skill bar and used it to win key mid-fights. With arc dominance on their side, they took Game 2. In Game 3, 489 took the lead early. Beer tried 2 bold strategies. First, a massive structure push with no mark, peaking at 1,200 points per minute. Then, in the final mid, they used Stocking Up and Time Warp to double cast Desert Storm and To the Death. Still, 489 won the final arc and the series.
Beer for sure is a very solid and respectable opponent. We had some minor mistakes in early game in the first match, which later had domino effect. Losing that first game had put the pressure on us. But apart from adjusting skill usage and some players' movements, I think mentality was equally important. That is to stay calm, focused, and believing in what we've prepared all along the way. If you lose confidence and momentum, nothing can really help. No mark is no doubt a very strong skill, but that comes with a cost. Not only about the 6 energy ball and 1 skill slot, but it's also about giving up your marches in other places so as to maximize the gains from that skill. It's really a give and take. And the reason of our choice was twofold. First, we've practiced with Bear some time back and watched also their recent games. We know that they are also a very mid-focused team. To come from mid-focus, be more mid-focused. Second, we also know from practice that what our own team is good at. We want to play the ground that we are more comfortable with. So it's basically from the saying and the art of war, know yourself and know your enemy. So truth to be told, we did discuss and thought about including No Mark in our second game and finals, but we decided to stick with the original plan, because we believed if we implement well and be a bit faster in rotations, we can win. I think it's safe to say this is the most difficult one among the 3. We have strong opponents in the ring. Like I said before on another interview with Brian Cole, I do think all semi-finalists stood a good chance winning. And as our team ourselves, we also face more challenges in language and schedule. Season 6 champion 89CG was a mostly Vietnamese team. Season 7 89N was a mostly Korean team. This season, we emerged into an international team. We don't need to spend more time in communicating our ideas and understanding each other. Thankfully, we finally made it.
MP39 opened with early no mark, speeding up captures of both their own and enemy buildings, setting the tone from the start and controlling the match. Game 2 escalated quickly. NP39 captured EE's obelisk, letting their biggest players teleport in and start swarming cities early on.
Well, yes, we all believe we're gonna win the final, no doubt. We discussed a lot about what kind of strategy we want, and in the end, we have decided just to improve our basic skills, because most of us are new kingdoms. So it is really important to improve everyone's basic skills, except to make some, creative ideas. Definitely the semifinal with 35-35, and I think most people saw them as a top contender. On the gold coin page, I think they got about 6.8 million gold coins. Well, they did a lot of practice, obviously, and the game with 35-35 is pretty tough, but we still believe we could win, and we did win. I would say, as a new kingdom, we will try our best to play, but please don't put us at the same level as the 1960, 489, or 93T. That's not fair, but like I said, we will try our best.
I wouldn't say the meta is like finalized, because every time there's Grand Prix, even last year, the meta changes so much because the Chinese teams are like so innovative. I would expect things to change, and it will mostly come from them, because for international teams we prefer to play it safer. The only difference you see is like for the openers when people try to steal an obelisk, whereas the Chinese teams, they just play very, I wouldn't say weird, but very different. So it will be the international teams seeing how they play and adapting to it.
The typical skill combo these days would be energetic, time up, normal to the death or master strategy plus 2 more. But I think we haven't really maximized the potentials from all the skills yet. Like Sun Sailor, I think there are a lot more possibilities there. And with equal accounts and Grand Prix, I think teams can have even more creativity. And I'd expect more hybrid mode of play. The switch of focus between building or mid could be more dynamic and unpredictable, and with a lot more proficiency too.
For the Grand Prix, actually we are gonna like merge with the GT meme team, so we have like full committed team for Grand Prix.
Basically, we're doing a 15-15 hybrid of MX and GT. The ones that scored the highest in our opinion, and the ones that want to do the most, because the Grand Prix is the next level, so we're gonna be looking at more dedication, more practices, and just generally more arcs.
Yeah, so basically last season the Grand Prix Chinese teams just dominated the Grand Prix because like they had like some special training going on in the Chinese server with each other, which we also like in talks with other teams trying to set up a small training between us. So yeah, it's gonna be fun.
We do want to win. We'll try to make that happen. We'll do some changes to the team to improve it, but I don't want to jinx anything. So I would just say that we'll try our best. If we're good enough, we're gonna win. If we're not good enough, then we'll lose. So that's why it doesn't bother me if we don't win something, because the best team will win.
I still believe the most important thing is to participate, not just to the win. And hopefully we can bring something different to the table.
Of course, we want to bring the victory home again, but there are really many strong teams who are also working hard for the goal. So it's really down to how teams deploy their 30 members, 115 watches in that 1 hour. And as our team motto says, luck doesn't breed victory, solidarity does. So I'll say, may the best team wins.
I'm not sure about the Chinese server yet. As for the international server, yeah, you have 93T, 489, Beer, 748. Also teams like OWR, which we played in the final. Yeah, a lot of these teams are going to be tough to beat in the Grand Prix, especially like when you have balanced accounts, so it all comes down to strategy and execution.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, in the regular OL, you always have teams with slight or even big gear and armament advantage. So it's kind of scuffed in that way. And this time it's just all balanced. So the one with the most and best strategy and execution is always going to be the one that are going to be the hardest to beat. So I'm very curious to see who will be actually the biggest competitors, because I have no clue. Neither for who's going to be the underdog or dark horse. Maybe our team will be, because, MX.
GY16 is always good, so I assume they're gonna perform well. But every Grand Prix, there's always this 1 or 2 Chinese teams that come out of nowhere, and they do very well. And last year it was 732, and I didn't really see them this well, but 466, they've made a new team, so I expect that they'll do very well.
I think all the teams have the same chance to win. If you ask me who will be the dark horse, it's pretty hard to say that, but I'm the fan of Seawell, so that's the team I'm cheering for. Let's go 1960.
I haven't watched many Chinese teams play yet, so I can't compare the performance. But I think many international teams have been improving a lot, formulating new strategies and developing their own colors. Some of the teams have actually come together, wanting to start some sort of Grand Prix preparation league already to arrange regular practice matches against each other. So we do want to make international teams great again.